Alright, so you guys wanted this, so here it is. Part 1 of What If Female Deku Was the Demon Queen. So, to begin with, I want to establish that this want to establish that this is going to be a new What If, and I'm going to be introducing some fantasy elements into it. So I might do this in case this will be the same thing in case I do other fantasy what ifs. And that's a little bit of foreshadowing for you guys. And just give me a minute. Alright, so her name in this one, Deku's name will be Kellis. That will be her name in this one. Two, this won't be her quirk. She'll be an actual demon. Unlike the harem what if that I really need to get back on. And so, okay, so let us begin, because I've rattled on long enough. So we'll begin in the underworld, or pandemonium, or hell, or whatever you want to call it, with a war that is going on, as the current demon king is looking down upon an army, two armies, his own army and Kelif's army, and the Demon King's army is currently losing the war, with the Demon King residing on his throne. As a couple hours later, he would hear there would be large banging on his door, as it would be blown in, as two of his royal guards would come flying towards his throne. But as they come flying, his royal guards immediately disintegrate before impacting him. As Kellis would walk into the throne room, as the Demon King would look at her, as he would speak. So, you are the one who has come to take my throne. The one who's wanting to take over the underworld. As Kellis would say, yes, I am. Your rule has become tyrannical. You're leading others into nothing but suffering. And for that, you must be eliminated. With the Demon King thing. Well then, I'm guessing I've been waiting for a fight like this for thousands of years. As the Demon King would immediately begin to charge up an attack. Now, I just want to explain this. This is how my demons work. So essentially, the more powerful a demon is, the more human they look. Which is why Kellis looks the way she is, because she is actually one of the most... Essentially, this is how it goes. Those who look more demonic in appearance have the lowest amount of power, while those who have a more human appearance have the highest amount of power and are candidates for becoming demon kings or queens. Which is why I'm having Kellis look as human as possible. Now let's get back to the story. As the Demon King would then launch off a blast of fire, as Kellis will send a wave of lightning in his direction, with the lightning bolt hitting the Demon King and sending him into one of the pillars. As the Demon King would cough as he begins to get back up, as he would then state that he didn't expect it. State to himself in his head Dang it. So, oh wait, damn it, I didn't think that candidate would be this strong. I am not sure if I can deal with her. As Callus would use would send another lightning bolt at the Demon King, which would continue to hit him over and over and over until finally the Demon King is on his knees, and he is enraged that he hasn't managed to land a single hit on her. As Kellis would begin to walk off, as she would say, "The title of Demon Queen is mine. You are no longer welcome in this palace. Leave." As the Demon King would be furious at this, as he would manifest a sword and begin to charge at Kellis, with Kellis immediately turning around and performing a quick slash with her hand. As the Demon King would then think to himself, "What? Why is my body so far away from me?" As he would look down and realize that his head has been severed, with Callus, dang it, I really need to remember this name, as Callus would raise his head to her eye level, as she would say, "That's such a shame. To us, I would have let you live I would have let you live free of everything you've done. But now that you've done this, it seems your death is more than inevitable." So, this is another thing. The only way you can kill a Demon King or Demon Queen is if you cut off their head and then destroy the head. So that's basically why Demon Kings and Queens are near impossible to kill, because you actually need to do both of those things instead of doing just one of them. So you can't just destroy the head or just cut off the head. You need to do both. As Callus would then put her hand, she was like holding his head up by the hair, as she would then put her hand on like the actual head, as she would begin to apply pressure, as cracking would be heard until as we look out the window, as there's a wet squelch that is heard, as a red viscous liquid would paint the windows, as Callus would then dump what is left of the head onto the ground, as she would look down at her hand as it is bloodied, as she would think to herself, "How disgusting," as she would begin to clean off her hand, as she would then sit on her newly acquired throne, as all the demons that were there would begin to kneel, as they would chant, "All hail Demon Queen Kellis." As this happened about I'd say about 100 years before quirks started to pop up. So Kellis have been ruling the underworld for about 100 years, and in those 100 years, she has been a brilliant demon queen by basically helping those who were in need and those who had been affected by the previous Demon King's rule. So I just want to put this out here. Kellis is a part of a thought to be extinct demon tribe known as the Lightning Demon Tribe, Now, this tribe of demons were made out of very powerful demons. In fact, the demon king before the last demon king was a member of this tribe, but when the previous demon king had taken power, he had ordered for all of them to be wiped out, except for Kelith, which proved to be his downfall. As she would try to begin rebuilding her clan, as she would use some resurrection magic on them, which would bring them back, as her tribe would have been rebuilt. And we'll just pop up to heaven, where the angels are looking down on this, as they would think to themselves, as they would begin to think, should we interfere with hell, or should we interfere with the affairs that are going on in hell, or should we let them be? With the angels debating this, and ultimately deciding that they will try to interfere, that they will go to hell and talk to the new demon queen. Now she is currently wearing something that looks like this right now. This will be her primary attire. As the two angels would approach her and begin to talk with her, as they would ask her what are her plans. As dang it, Kelith would state that she is doing what is right for the underworld, and if you are going to interfere with what I am doing and send this place back 100 years, I will personally deal with your leader myself. As she closed her fist as a gauntlet would appear on it, which would then ignite and begin to spark with lightning, with the angels asking, is that a threat? As Callus would say, oh no, that's not a threat. That is a promise. So you don't interfere with hell, or the underworld, and I won't interfere with heaven. Now, as she would lean forward on her throne, do I make myself clear? As the angels would both say, crystal clear. As they would then both leave, with the angels debating that if the demons decide to invade Earth, that's going to be a problem, due to the current capabilities that they have not being enough to deal with demons of this caliber. As the angels would decide that we will give them a new power, one that could possibly rival the magic of the demons. As they would then basically, as a child is being born, they would do a little bit of angel work, as this child would begin to glow. And that, my dear viewers, is the origin of how quirks came about. As we then get back to the underworld, as Kelith is currently doing some more work, as she begin to realize that she didn't think that being a demon queen would be this difficult. As the demons would then say, as a demon would run in and kneel to her, saying, "My queen, we have news from the mortal world." As Kelith would look to this demon and say, "What is this news?" Now, she doesn't always have this threatening appearance. She only does it for a show of power. She doesn't do this normally. It's only when people infuriate her, or she just wants to show how much power she has. So she only does it to angels and demons who interfere with her work. This demon would say that the angels have done something to the humans, and they are developing these powers that they call quirks. As Kellis would begin to think, so the angels think that so what I'm taking from this is that the angels think that we are going to invade. Then if they want an invasion, we will give them an invasion. As we then get back to heaven. Now, just so you know, heaven is not where souls of people who have passed go to. That is a different place altogether. So heaven is for the angels, and the underworld is for the demons. As a portal would open up in heaven, as a flood of demons would begin to invade heaven, as all the angels there would have been defeated in combat, as heaven would then fall and become a part of the underworld. With Kellis keeping the wings of those angels in her throne room, as a reminder of those who dare to oppose her. As we'll then get to when All For One started his reign, and Kellis is currently watching this through a magic, like demon magic. I'll say it's called magic eye. Essentially, it allows her to see into different planes. So right now she's looking into the mortal realm and is currently watching All For One's reign. Now, All For One has noticed that this eye was following him for a while, so he decides one day that he would try to catch it. As All For One would wait for the perfect opportunity, as when the eye gets close enough to him, he catches it with one of his one of the many quirks that he's stolen. As he would then pull it in close, as he would then say, now then, who is it that has been spying on me? As he would try to find the location of the person who was spying on him, but he couldn't find them. He was using one of the quirks they had, but he couldn't find them because they weren't on the same plane as him. As all of a sudden, there's a little bit of lightning bolt strikes the ground, as Kellis would appear behind him, as she would say, so, you're the one who managed to catch one of my magic eyes. As All For One would turn around and see this beautiful woman with horns standing right behind him. As he would then back off, as he would say, who the hell are you? As she would say that her name is Kellis, and she is the current demon queen. As All For One would say, but I thought demons didn't exist. Same with angels. With Kellis saying, oh no, demons do exist. Angels, not so much. I'm pretty sure I eradicated all of them long, long ago. As she would then show an image of, basically show the images of the war in heaven that happened years ago, with Kellis bringing the wings of the leader of the angels, as they would also show heaven collapsing into the underworld. with All For One looking at this, as you would think, she would be brilliant to be on my team in my army. As All For One would say, how about how about we make a deal? As Izumi would Callus would look at All For One, as she would say, a deal. As she began to tap her finger on her chin. I haven't made a deal in such a long time. The last deal I made was, let me see. Oh yeah, it was in 1917 when a man called Lenin wanted to have power in Russia. He made a deal. I got his soul in return for his wish of having complete control over Russia. As All For One would be impressed, as he would say, so you have lived for that long. As Kels would say, oh, I have been around for longer than you could ever possibly imagine. As All For One would say, so I would like to make a deal. I get to control Japan, and in return, you have my soul. With Kel saying, the soul for control over the entire country. It's a deal. As she would then raise her hand. She would raise her hand in a handshake. As once they shook hands, blue flames with a black outline would then engulf both their hands. As a pentagram would appear on All For One's where All For One's heart is, on his skin. As Kellis would say, that mark will be a reminder of the deal you've made. And here you go, control over Japan. And that is where I'm going to end this part off. I do hope you guys enjoyed Demon Queen, because I literally was pulling most of this out of random bits in my brain. So I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.